Welcome to the G.A.B. This is G.A.B.
They should have never gave you platforms.
Anyway, we about to get into the next segment. You know, this segment I love out here. You feel me? Let me get a motherfucking air horns for this segment. And this is the SAF segment. We in this motherfucker. And I really appreciate this docu-series, man. This docu-series, Phat Tuesdays on Amazon Prime. First of all, y'all get a motherfucking hand clap. Kids are cheering. You know what I mean? Hell yeah. Man, this shit was awesome. This shit was really good. Man, and it was touching at like the heartstrings. A lot of moments that they showed, I was like, oh shit. I grew up on this. Damn, this is why I'm this way, you feel me? You know what I mean? I wasn't really watching like gangster movies and shit like that. I was watching comics, you feel me? Def Comedy Jam, and you know, Martin Lawrence and the Martin Show and like Joe Torre and their stand up shit. Man, let me just get into it, man. Like I always say, I'm a stat teacher, so I gotta hit y'all with the stats. IMDb gave it 7.2. The Rotten Tomatoes gave it nothing. They didn't even say shit. You know how I say to them critics? Because these motherfuckers wrong. Even the people. Y'all, 84%. This shit should be way higher. Y'all bullshitting. Y'all Captain Crunching right now, bruh. What's wrong with y'all? Y'all niggas is... What were y'all watching? Were we watching the same thing? Because I was watching greatness. What the fuck was y'all watching? Bullshit. This came out February 4th, 2022. This was directed by Reginald Hudlin. Or I pronounced that first name wrong. Hey man, shout out to you, bruh. You get hand claps, bruh. This was fucking fire, bruh. You feel me? And this was a docu-series about the history of Phat Tuesdays. Hey man, shout out to Walter for telling me and Frank about this. And, also shout out to Dewan B. I heard it also on his channel. He was talking about Phat Tuesday in the docu-series, so I had to go check it out. And it talked about like the history of Phat Tuesdays. Basically, Guy Torrey, he set up this event to showcase black comics in Los Angeles. And there was nothing around for black comics to show what they got. It's just a bunch of fucking white crowds. So he set up Phat Tuesdays at the Comedy Store in LA, and that's like a prominent spot. And that spot usually don't have black comics. They had, you have some like a Paul Mooney or Richard Pryor, but anybody else they wasn't showcasing and shit. So he created this during like the riots, the Rodney King shit or whatever. So he created this shit, and a Comedy Store, they were like, you know what? We'll let y'all have your night. We gonna give y'all the shittiest night. Basically, they gave him the shittiest night. A Tuesday fucking night. Tuesday, going up on a motherfucking Tuesday. Shit. Gave him a shitty night. And you know what happened? Just like black people do, we motherfucking prevailed. If it wasn't for this night, that the Comedy Store would have been known as the closed store. Because them niggas would have closed down because they wasn't bringing in no money. And that shit had me think like, damn, them niggas was having all types of people coming there. They had like Mike Tyson and all types of people, you know what I mean? And it's just the whole thing like, damn, what if they didn't do it at the Comedy Store but did it somewhere black owned? But that's just a different topic of discussion, you feel me? Man, but that was the gist of it, and then they went over like, his brother Joe Torre and his his stand-ups and his journey and things in that nature. They had like Flaming Row. They had J.B. Smooth. They had Cat Williams on there. They had a whole bunch of motherfuckers. They had Dave Chappelle. Who else they had? They had Nick Cannon. They showed how Nick Cannon got his start up. Joe Torre. Was it Joe Torre or Guy Torre? Which one went down there? I think it was Joe. Joe Torre went, no. My mistake. It was Guy Tori. Guy Tori went to Spreckles. Joe and Guy Tori are brothers, and they talked about them also. And I'm kind of glad they kind of settled their beef at the end. And I feel like Guy Tori really was missing his relationship with his bigger brother Joe. You know what I mean? And like they had their tiff and whatever, and like they was arguing and shit. But like at the end of the doco series, they kind of squashed the beef, which is good, man. Shit, squash that beef. Y'all brothers, man. Y'all really helped each other out. But Guy Tori went to Spreckles, and Outkast was playing there, and he was like, hosting the shit, and then Nick Cannon was there, and then Guy Tori flamed Nick Cannon, and Nick Cannon came back with some shit, so he was like, all right, little motherfucker, come up to the Comedy Store in L.A. on Tuesdays, bro. I have a slot for you, and then the rest is history. We know how the Nick Cannon is now. You feel me? The baby generator. He generates babies at an alarming rate. 1 baby a month. Nah, but yeah. But then it also went into the history of like the Kings of Comedy. They had Steve Harvey on there. It had Cedric the Entertainer on there. Talk about a story. R.P. to Bernie Mac. I think, real talk, Bernie Mac and Martin Lawrence are my favorite comics of all time. Funniest people of all time. They talked about Martin Lawrence too, and him hosting Def Comedy Jam, and Russell Simmons coming up to him, and they, orchestrating Def Comedy Jam. They had D-Ray Davis. Bro, they had so many legends on that shit, bro. Man. And they always talk about their story and talk about how Fat Tuesdays, you know what I mean? Tiffany Haddish was on there. And they talk about how Fat Tuesdays was a place where they could showcase their talent. If it wasn't for this, a lot of these names I'm mentioning, we probably wouldn't be hearing about them. Be honest. Joe Torre got his significant role on Poetic Justice with Tupac and Janet Jackson. You feel me? Regina King. It all connected. And I like why they had this, because it showed that like black people can come together and build something for other black people to break out and be great and have success. Not us tearing each other down and shit. And it came through comedy. It showed that, look it, man, if it wasn't for black people, where the comedy would be. Let's be real, man. We boomed that shit. We boomed
Giggity.
in comedy. Hey, for us, man, this shit wouldn't exist. Comedy wouldn't exist. Or it would be probably super bland. But also, man, R.P. to Bob Saget. He even went to Fat Tuesdays, was telling his joke. And everybody was like, ain't this the nigga from Full House? What he gonna tell us? A bunch of dad jokes? Shit. If dad jokes was triple X, nigga was raunchy. Man, bro. They had, man, I can name so many more people they had on this doco series, but the main thing that it was showing was Guy Tori saw a problem that black entertainers were having, and he created a solution, and he showed that black people can all come together and build something for other black people. That was the main thing that I got from this doco series. And also, it showed how like Def Comedy Jam came into fluorescence, and then like just so much shit in the 90s just to pop off, bruh. God damn. I miss the era of the 90s, bro, when it comes to TV shows and comedy and the way the style of comedy was back then, bro. I grew up on that shit. That shit I was watching. Man, they talked about, and I remember this, I was like, damn, I was a fucking little kid sitting in front of the TV like this. My granny was like, get your ass back from the TV, you gonna hurt your eyes. How I'm blind today. My bad, granny. I should have listened to you. But it told about the first time that I think Chris Tucker went on Def Comedy Jam and Bernie Mac went on a Comedy Jam. They went on the same night. Like Chris Tucker was first, killed that shit. You feel me? And then after that, it had some dude who was mad trash. And that was another thing, too. The black crowds, they let you know if your shit sucked, which I appreciated. None of that ain't called shit. Let you know, like, yo, that shit is poo. That shit is weak. This nigga funny? Is it? So it means that you had to get your shit together. Get better. You feel me? But after that, you know, this nigga was bombing. And that's actually fucking terrible for the next comic, because then the crowd's all restless and riled up and shit. So Bernie Mac went to the DJ and was like, you know what? Every time I say something, just do the cue like this. And then Bernie Mac came out there. First time. Legend. And I was sitting there right there watching this shit, laughing. This nigga, I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. And then the crowd went wild, bro. I was laughing and shit. But I know I'm a kid and I probably wasn't supposed to watch that shit. But this is what I grew up on. And this is kind of how I am like this today. You feel me? I am raunchy and comical as shit. And I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. Man. Shit was comedy, bruh. It also showed how these motherfuckers getting movie roles. Like, who was supposed to get that shit? Was it? I think Guy Torry was supposed to get a role for the Fifth Element, but the executives or industry people wanted to come down to see his set or whatever. It's like, oh, this is the guy we talk about. And Chris Tucker went on before him, and Chris Tucker ended up stealing his bruh role. Just crazy how certain shit conspired, bro. And then, like, Snoop Dogg was on there, you feel me? Hey, man, congrats to Snoop Dogg on the Death Row Records, man. That's a motherfucking goddamn. Hell yeah. But yeah, man. That shit was tight, man. Goddamn. Snoop Dogg was on there. They talked about everything. This was nostalgic for your boy, man. I was just like, God damn, bro. All these legends talk about their story and how they all came to Fat Tuesdays to work on their sets and shit like that. Kudos, man. Kudos to y'all, bro. Like I said, man, this was a look it. I always say I don't detract people from watching shit. I ain't telling you what to watch, none of that shit. I'm just telling you my opinion on the shit. If you fuck with it, go ahead, watch the shit. Anyway, this was Fat Tuesdays on Amazon Prime. Yeah, man, nostalgia, man. Fuck. Hancock. Yes, sir. All right,